For centuries, the galaxy prided itself on unity, a council of over 100 advanced species bound together by laws, peace, and indifference. When the distress signal came from the Yulin system, a weak, pre-FTL civilization screaming for help as the Varnak swarm descended upon their world, the Galactic Council simply looked away. Too far. Too costly. Not our problem. The Yulin were left to die. But someone heard the call. And someone answered. Far from the golden halls of the Galactic Council, aboard a ship painted in midnight black and armored with Terran steel, Captain Suri Valen listened in silence. She wasn't supposed to. The Council had marked the Yulin's signal as unactionable. But humanity had never been good at following rules written by those who preferred to sit while others bled. Suri leaned forward, eyes locked on the flickering hologram of the dying world. How long until the swarm reaches their capital, she asked. 6 hours, her AI, Corvus, replied. Suri stood. Then we move now. The TSV Ronin wasn't a dreadnought or a carrier. It was old, repurposed from the last Earth War, a war humanity barely survived. But it had fire in its belly and humans on board who remembered what it meant to fight when no one else would. The journey took 4 hours. By the time they dropped out of FTL, the Yulin sky was already dark with Varnak ships. The swarm blotted out the sun, pouring down like a black tide. The Council had feared the swarm, claiming even a full fleet would be decimated. But Suri didn't bring a fleet. She brought humans. What happened next would echo across the galaxy. One Terran vessel, one obsolete human ship dove into the heart of the swarm. Missiles streaked. Plasma shields screamed. Suri barked orders through smoke and chaos. Each member of her crew fought like legends out of myth, men and women born on a planet that had clawed its way from extinction more than once. But it wasn't just their weapons. It was their rage. It was the knowledge that silence had nearly killed a world. In the final hour, as the swarm regrouped for a final push, Suri made the call. Reroute all remaining power to the main cannon. Captain, Corvus warned, firing that close. I know. The ship turned into a comet of fire. The main cannon, a relic from Earth's war days, erupted, slicing through the swarm's queen with a roar. That could be felt in the bones of every creature watching from orbit. The swarm fractured. Without their queen, they descended into chaos. The tide turned, and the Yulin survived. Weeks later, the Galactic Council summoned Suri Valen, not to thank her, but to reprimand her. You disobeyed direct non-intervention orders, a senator hissed. You risked war. I saved a world you abandoned, Suri replied calmly. Because we don't turn away. A silence fell. A representative from the Yulin stood. His species had barely developed interstellar communication, and yet here he was, trembling yet proud. While the stars ignored our cries, he said, a single voice answered. Human. Female. Fire in her eyes. She came not as conqueror, but as guardian. The Council had no words. Back on Earth, the story spread like wildfire. One ship. One crew. One answer. Humanity wasn't the strongest or the oldest. But when the galaxy looked away from suffering, they looked toward it. They remembered. They remembered what it meant to fight for someone who could give you nothing in return. Because once, not so long ago, humanity had been the ones screaming in the dark, begging for help that never came. Now they were the light. Now they were the reckoning. The Yulin began rebuilding under human guidance, not domination. No colonies. No exploitation. Just alliance. Just protection. And soon, others followed. Forgotten species. Betrayed worlds. Voices long silenced. They reached out. And humanity answered. Again. And again. Not because they were saviors. But because no one else would. Because someone had to stand when the galaxy looked away. End. Would you like an image prompt for this story now?